Hello and welcome. I'm Peggy, and I hope that everybody's busy, but you take a few minutes and spend it with me and the lady that's sitting here with me now. I didn't know her before she walked in the door, and it's an amazing story, and I'm very blessed to have Linda Wilson here. Now, Linda is the program manager for something called Step by Step Ministries, and I've heard about it, and probably you have too, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Thank you for coming. Bless you for coming.
Thank you.
You're an
Bless
amazing
you.
person just by yourself, and just the few minutes we've had to visit has been a joy for me. And she is the program manager for Step by Step Ministries. And I guess we better begin at the beginning. What is Step by Step Ministries?
Step by Step Ministry Hope Project is an emergency shelter for homeless women. And many of these women are all of the women are coming from not such great things. I mean, a lot of them have a substance abuse history. Some of them have mental illness. Some of them have been incarcerated. Whatever it is, they have lost whatever they have, and they're trying to regain their lives back. And we're a key to doing that.
Now, you are a physical location. You have a
Yes.
building or a house.
We have a house, and it's not far from St. Francis downtown.
It's downtown, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it houses it houses 10 women, and we're about to build an addition onto the house so that we'll be housing 16 women. The demand is humongous.
Really?
Yes. Our CEO just last week took 20 calls of women that needed a bed, and we did not have it.
Oh my goodness. Well, my question was how do you find these women? But obviously they find you.
Well, a lot of it's word of mouth. Other agencies know about us. The prison system knows about us. Mental health knows about us. You know, the important thing is to get these ladies off the street, especially in 90-degree weather. You know, it's not healthy to live out like that, or when it's 10 degrees, and get them off the streets and get them good nutrition, have a safe place to be. And then we give them counseling, whatever is needed in counseling for them. It might be substance abuse counseling, it might be mental health counseling, but we try and get them what they need. We also make sure that they're getting the health services that they need, because you need to get a hold of whatever illness is affecting you at the time and make it so that your life is more rounded and stable, so that you can go to work, can be with your family.
So what you are is really an emergency shelter where people in chaos, an emergency situation, can have a place to step back and breathe. And
Yes.
and then you try to help them put their life back together.
That's right. It's not easy.
Now, we've had many people bring posters, believe me. This is the biggest poster we've ever had anybody bring, bless your heart, and it's Step by Step Ministries.
Yes.
And thank you for bringing that.
Well, we do all that stuff. It's really interesting, and it's so rewarding to see a lady that comes into our house, into our shelter, and they are scared. They don't know what they're in for. They don't know anybody. It's a group setting. They have a lot of habits that they can't have anymore. And
What do you mean by that?
you know, they might have had a substance abuse history, for instance. Well, we don't allow that in our program at all.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol, drugs. We get many women that have been victims of the opioid addiction, and that's really difficult to work with. And it happens to the best of us. You know, I have to say, probably one of the cheapest drugs to get right now when you go to the pharmacy is painkiller.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about that.
It's like $3 for a batch of them. So, and then they're being sold on the street for a whole lot more. So anyway, we get these women and they're just overwhelmed with problems. Otherwise, why would they be homeless, right? And we're just looking at what their needs are. We're trying to address each of their needs, trying to get them stable. We do help them get jobs. Many of them are working through the temporary agencies with BMW and actually get on permanent. And so we're driving them to their jobs.
Because they don't have transportation.
Right. We're making sure that they get that work ethic. And many of our women become permanent because they are really driven to do better. And our big goal is to not only get them to be able to get into their own permanent housing, but to reunite with their families.
Well, that was my other question. Do some of these women have children?
Yeah, many of the women have children. Somebody else is raising them. And the ladies many times haven't been healthy enough to spend a lot of time with their children. And we're seeing people move out and have relationships with their children again, sometimes living with them again. It's awesome. It's so exciting.
Well, now you have parenting classes.
Well, we have...
Or you send them to parenting.
We send them to parenting classes if that is their goal, is to reunite with their children. We send them parenting classes. I've been in households with women that were overcoming homelessness before, and the little 3-year-olds oftentimes rule the roost because they don't have, the women are feeling guilty and they don't have the mechanism to be able to raise that child with the stability that the child has need of.
Linda, I want to ask you something. I didn't know you when you walked in the door and we started to chat a little bit. How did you reach the point where you have a ministry, whether you call it that or not, with Step by Step Ministries? What brought you to this?
Well, Angela, our director, our CEO, knew me because I worked with another agency for 17 years in upstate, and I was designing and managing several programs for homeless people that helped them become self-sufficient. And I did that in a 13-county area of the upstate. So I had skills already. Okay. And Angela has a very small shop and needed that help, so she reached out to me. I was retired, and asked me if I would help her, and really didn't need the training. I knew how to write a grant, for instance. Mm-hmm. And so it was just kind of, I could just step in and do it, and it was very helpful to her. And I really liked retirement, but it really feels good to spend some of your life really helping other people that haven't had the blessings that you've had.
Well, now, do you use volunteers? Do they need volunteers, or what? I know you need money to keep going, but what are some of the needs? What can somebody out there do to help Step by Step Ministries?
So we do need volunteers. One of the major needs is for people to know who we are. So, just social media would be, if we had a lot of people that were using their social media contacts and talking about Step by Step and the great work that we do, that would help us tremendously. And also, we have people that do come, and that we've had some people that come with the church and do some Bible study with them. Some people, we could use people that would help them get the things that they need for work, such as steel-toed shoes or work pants or things like that. We have people, we just had a group that came this morning and brought some gift bags for our residents, and they were so tickled. They really were. I used to do a program, and certainly would be very excited to do it again, where we had what we call bridal showers, and so somebody who would like to do something with their friends and have their friends come to either in their business or in their house and like bring, let's say it was a towel shower. So you could bring as little as a washcloth, or you could bring a whole set of towels. You know, those are things that are needed not only in the shelter, but for the ladies that are moving out into their own place because they don't have anything. And then...
So you could do a step-by-step shower.
Exactly. And somebody from Step by Step would come and talk about the ministry.
Okay. That's a wonderful idea.
And then you can have a social time with your friends and feel like you're doing something.
And everybody could bring something that would be useful.
Right, and they'll feel like they've helped
and
somebody.
And then they donate that back to Step by Step Ministries. And when these women reach the point where they're safe to leave Step by Step,
yes,
and you have something you can give them because they obviously don't have a lot or they wouldn't be there in the first place.
Right, and so that works very nicely. And it also makes the hostess or host feel good about what they're doing. It makes the people that come feel good. You have a time to have a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever it might be, and have a social time.
That's it. We're going to take a quick break and stay with us. We have a lot more to talk about, and I have some folders here about Step by Step. I'll be glad to send you one. Stay with us.